On the 28th of August 1989, Jim Henson would set in motion a deal with then Disney CEO Michael Eisner to sell the Muppets property to the Walt Disney Company. Less than 9 months later, on the 16th of May 1990, Jim Henson was diagnosed with pneumonia and subsequently died suddenly of toxic shock syndrome. Is it just a coincidence that Disney was constantly pushing Henson for a better deal in the lead up to his death? The Muppet creator's oldest and best friend, Frank Oz, certainly doesn't think so. In Frank Oz's latest interview, Hadley Freeman, who was carrying it out, expressed how shocked she was at the tragic passing of Jim at such a young age. And without any mention whatsoever of the D word, Oz instantly responds with, quote, "The Disney deal is probably what killed Jim. It made him sick." So here we have a first-hand account from Jim's closest friend, whom he was working with at the time, vividly describing how trying to form a deal with Disney not only stressed him out mentally, but also took a toll on his physical health, which visibly deteriorated as the Disney deal progressed. Oz continues, "Eisner was trying to get Sesame Street too, which Jim wouldn't allow, but Jim was not a dealer. He was an artist, and it was destroying him. It really was." Yeah, so this lines up perfectly with what we've heard before, as even though Jim did want the Muppets property to go to Disney, he was adamant that Sesame Street remain a separate entity, much to the objection of Michael Eisner. The fact that Jim planned to take a step back from the Muppets and let Disney take care of the business side of things already shows that he was probably stressing himself out with the constant workflow and therefore didn't want to deal with it all for much longer. Eisner presumably saw this as an opportunity to get his hands on Henson's properties, and as Frank says, Jim just wasn't cut out for this kind of thing. In fact, I think it's safe to say that himself and Eisner are probably about as polar opposite as you can get, with one being a creator and performer at heart, and the other a cold and calculative businessman. Even following Jim's death, Disney continued to pursue the Henson family for his properties until they eventually reached a deal in 2004, in which they acquired the Muppets. So all of these years later, literally over Henson's dead body, Michael Eisner finally got what he wanted. Well, bar Sesame Street. And then promptly retired the following year. So yeah, I know this is a bit of a sensitive topic, and I don't want to just barge in and say, I know why Jim Henson died, because it's not for me to say. I mean, I wasn't even born then. But to have Frank Oz, of all people, come out with what is a pretty big accusation, as confidently as he does, you know, that's some pretty damning evidence that I felt just had to be explored further. So I'll link the full Frank Oz interview below, and you can take a look for yourselves, as it's really insightful and overall just an interesting read. But let me know what you think about all this in the comments section, whilst as always any likes and especially subscribers are greatly appreciated. Thank you all for watching.